Alright guys, today's goal is to identify and correct errors in a solution method. I'm going to give you a problem, I'm going to solve it, but there's going to be one or more mistakes in my method. And your job is to find them and then fix them so that we get to the correct solution in the end. Let's go ahead and just jump right into our first problem, and I've got 5x minus 2 times 3x plus 5 equals 5. I'm going to go ahead and start solving that and just take a look at what I'm doing as I go. In your mind, what you need to be thinking as you see the solution coming up on the board is, how did he get there? What did he do from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4? What did I do from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 to step 5? What happened? How did he get there? How did I get there? And is what I did accurate? So what I want you guys to do right now is pause the video in a second. That sounds funny. Right now, pause the video in a second. What I want you guys to do right now is go ahead and identify where the mistake occurred. Go ahead and pause the video until you guys can see it. Once you guys see it, push play and we'll talk about how to fix it. Alright, so hopefully what you guys identified as the mistake was that when I distributed that -2, I only did it to the 3x. So over here, I'm going to write down the problem again, and I've got 5x minus 2 times 3x plus 5 equals 5. And I'm going to go through and actually distribute this. So I distribute the 2, and I get 2 times 3 and 2 times 5. 5x minus 6x plus 10 equals 5. 5x minus 6x is negative x, plus 10 equals 5. Subtract 10 from both sides. Negative x equals negative 5. Divide by negative 1. X equals 5. So my solution originally was x equals 0 because I made a mistake, and what my mistake was this 5 should have been a 10. One small mistake. It was pure arithmetic. I multiplied 2 times 5, decided to write 5 down instead of 10, and because of that mistake, I got the entire problem wrong. It's fairly easy once you see what the mistake is to go through and fix it and then finish off the problem. So what I want you guys to do is, on this next problem, as it's coming up on the board, I want you guys to identify where the mistake occurred. Well, if a mistake occurred, where the mistake occurred, and then I want you to go ahead and solve it correctly for me. So just like I did on the last problem where we identified the mistake and then fixed it, I want you guys to do the same thing. And I'll tell you right now, there can be more than one mistake in a problem. So go through step by step. Remember, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Go through each one of those 4 pieces or 4 steps and tell me if there's a mistake. If there is a mistake right now, just identify it. Alright, if there is a mistake right now, identify it. Go ahead and pause the video and press play when you're ready to move on. Very good. So you should have identified the mistake as adding 10 to both sides. And then as when I divided 20 over 15, I ended up with 5. That's not correct. So I had 2 mistakes in this one. What I want you guys to do is please go ahead, pause the video, and correct the mistakes. When you have the problem solved correctly, push play and we can move on. Alright, so what you should have come up with when you solved the problem correctly was x equals 0. Let's go ahead and just move on to the next problem. This one, I've got 5r plus 2r minus 3 equals 11. So what I want you guys to do is take a look at the solution method that's coming up on the board. The benefit of having it this way is you get to see exactly what I did in order. I would love to be able to just give you a completed problem and say, hey, this is what you have to work with, but with how the video works, I can't do that. You get to see my work every time. There is at least one error in this problem, possibly more. I want you guys to identify the errors and solve. I'm sorry, incorrect. So this time you're not only identifying, but you're correcting the errors. And let's see if you guys can catch them all and then get to the correct solution. When you guys have the correct solution, or you think you have the correct solution, go ahead and push play again, and we can double check it together. Alright, so you should be back with me now, and our correct solution should be r equals 2. Let me double check that in my head. Yeah, r equals 2. So if you got that as your correct solution, then you identified the correct errors. The error occurred here when I decided to subtract the 2r. Let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. Okay, I want you guys to take a look at this one and watch what's being done to the problem. Pay close attention to it. So you've got the g's and you combine the g's. There is an error that occurred here, at least one. What I want you guys to do one more time, just like last time, pause the video, talk this one through with a partner. Don't do it whole group, do it partner only. This is not a whole group discussion, this is a partner discussion. Discuss it with your partners. Take 3 minutes and make sure you're both on the same page with where the error occurred. So identify the error, and then correct the error and get me to the correct solution. Pause the video and push play when you're ready to move on. Alright, so when I take a look at this one's really weird because the correct solution actually is g equals 1. But how I got there is what's wrong with this. Because what happened is I was right to get to 4g minus 2 equals 2. But my next step should have been to add 2 to both sides, get 4g equals 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, and then end up with g equals 1. So you see, sometimes even though we take the wrong method, we do the wrong steps, we can get to the right answer. But we don't care about the right answer as much. We care about how did I get there, and is what I'm doing an intelligent choice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one now. This one is coming up on the board again. Give it a second. I apologize, guys. How the video runs, I cannot program it to just pop everything up, or at least I don't think so. I'll play around with it for Monday's video. But because of that, you have to watch it come up piece by piece by piece. Looks like we're getting close to an answer here. There we go. The complete solution method is on the board. You see a solution. I want you to work by yourself. One more time, you are going to work by yourself, not with anybody else, just by yourself. Copy this problem down in your notes, identify the error, and develop a correct solution method, please. I'll give you guys, because you're working completely by yourself, 4 minutes on this one. 4 minutes. If you need a little longer, that's up to Miss Ann and Miss Ramirez, but you get at least 4 minutes. Go ahead and get to work now. Pause the video and push play when you're ready to move on. Alrighty, so just for Luis, I'm going to sing the stupid copy down song because he bugs me about it every day, so why not? As this is coming up on the board, go ahead and copy this down. Copy this down, just copy this down. We copy down. Copy down the problem before and the song. Copy this down. Those of you that can't see what just happened in my apartment, my wife started laughing at me. One of my dogs looks at me like I'm nuts, and the other one ran up to the table like I was dying. She wanted to make sure I was okay. So, You should have this copied down. For those of you that hate that song, I apologize. Luis keeps asking for it, so I figured I'd put it in a video. One more time, work by yourself, identify the error, and correct the error in the solution method. Go ahead, pause the video, work on this together. I'm sorry, by yourself. And then push play when you're ready to move on. All right, we've got 2 more solution methods coming up on the board. What I want you guys to do this time around, on a half sheet of paper, the half sheets of paper are up on the bookshelf at the front of the room by the starboard. But on a half sheet of paper, go ahead, copy these down, identify the errors, and develop correct solution methods. This is going to count as a pop quiz, guys. Easy points if you've been working through the video. Very difficult points if you haven't been paying attention and asking questions. You have got to learn to start asking questions. So we're going to have pop quizzes fairly regularly. Just get used to them. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, copy these down, identify the error, and develop a correct solution method. After this is the end of this video, so Miss N or Miss Ramirez will lead the class in rotating. Have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later.